You ever had that unsettling feeling of being treated as nothing more than a stepping stone or a tool for someone else's gain? It's a tough pill to swallow, but fake relationships can be hard to spot, especially when we're inclined to trust in the goodness of others. Some people leave behind subtle clues, hidden signs, and telling words that expose their real motives, seeing us only as a means to an end. In today's video, we're diving deep into the heart of these toxic behaviors, uncovering 6 key signs that loudly signal when someone has no real concern for you and is simply using you. It's time to lift the mask on these false friends. Stick around and let's dig into the details. Navigating the stormy seas of human nature is an art that asks for both intuition and experience. Along the way, we meet all sorts of personalities. Some bring value to our lives, while others only cause harm. Figuring out when someone is using us can be a painful process, and it's rarely as obvious as we'd hope. But the first step in reclaiming our self-worth and setting boundaries is recognizing these behaviors for what they are. As we travel through the maze of intentions and relationships, one key realization should stay with us. You deserve relationships that are built on mutual respect and reciprocity. Remember, the foundation of better, more fulfilling relationships lies in understanding, taking action, and most importantly, respecting both yourself and other people. The first signal, the exploitation of selective availability. In the intricate web of human relationships, a red flag that often emerges is selective availability. This behavior becomes clear when someone is always accessible when they need something from you, but mysteriously disappears when the situation is reversed. Imagine this. You frequently find yourself as the one offering a helping hand, whether it's emotional support, doing favors, or giving your time and attention. But when you're in a vulnerable spot, seeking a little support or asking for assistance, you're met with a deep silence. Your messages go unanswered, your calls are ignored, or at best, the subject is swiftly changed. This kind of behavior creates an imbalance where the flow of giving and receiving is entirely one-sided. It feels like you're walking down a one-way street, with your efforts being poured into a relationship that offers no return. Such a dynamic doesn't just reveal a lack of consideration, it also exposes a deliberate indifference for your needs and emotions. Selective availability becomes a harsh reflection of an harsh truth. This person is only present when it benefits them. This one-sided relationship is a fertile ground for disappointment and bad feelings. Over time, it becomes an uneven scale where one person's needs are constantly neglected. Recognizing this behavior and addressing it is a crucial step. You need to ask yourself if this is truly a relationship that enriches both sides, or if you are simply being used for someone else's convenience. This is where self-respect and self-worth come into play, pushing you to re-evaluate your boundaries and question if reciprocity is genuinely valued in this relationship. The second signal, a lack of genuine personal interest. When it comes to personal relationships, there's a clear red flag that often goes unnoticed: the absence of real personal interest. Authentic friends and companions show a sincere curiosity about our lives, emotions, and the things that matter to us. They delight in hearing our stories, celebrate our victories, and stand by us during tough times. But things take a stark turn when you're dealing with someone whose concern seems purely functional and opportunistic. This kind of person rarely, if ever, asks about your day, about how to feel, or your dreams. The conversations seem to revolve around their own world, centered on their experiences and needs. And when they do engage, it's often superficial, lacking any true emotional or personal connection. This behavior creates a troubling disconnect. You start to feel like your voice and story only matter when they serve this person's agenda. Instead of being an equal participant, you become just an audience to their life, or a tool for their convenience. This lack of empathy and genuine curiosity is a clear signal. Your worth to them is defined by what you can offer, not by who you truly are. Though this realization can be tough, it's necessary for your own self-reflection and dignity. It forces you to ask the critical question: is this a relationship built on mutual care and respect, or are you merely playing a supporting role in someone else's life story? The lack of personal interest is a bright red flag that it's time time to reassess the relationship and find spaces where you're truly valued and appreciated for all that you are. If you've stayed with us this far, you're clearly someone dedicated to self-development and growth. Leave a comment below saying stoic in the comments if you reached this point. Let's keep going. The third signal, manipulation and guilt unveiled. In the realm of human connections, a troubling signal can surface: the use of guilt as a form of manipulation. This tactic may take many shapes, but its underlying goal remains the same: to subtly force someone into complying with the manipulator's desires. Picture this. You often find yourself in situations where there's a subtle but persistent pressure to agree to do the things they ask for. Perhaps the person in question tactically tugs at your feelings, manipulating your emotions like a puppet to achieve their objectives. Statements such as, "If you were a true friend, you'd do this for me," or "If you really cared about me, you would help me," are wielded as emotional weapons, exploiting your kindness and empathy. These manipulative strategies are slick, often cloaked in normalcy or a sense of duty, designed to make you question your own feelings and instincts. Over time, you may find yourself doubting whether it's your responsibility to give in, even at the cost of your well-being. This is a slippery slope where your emotional strength and self-respect can begin to crack. On the flip side, it's crucial to remember that healthy relationships are rooted in mutual respect, trust, and the freedom to address individual needs without coercion or fear. If you constantly find yourself trapped in these emotional power plays, it's a signal that it's time to take a step back and reassess the relationship. This is the moment to evaluate whether the connection is sustainable and if it's possible to establish stronger and healthier boundaries. Recognizing and confronting manipulation is an empowering step towards safeguarding your emotional and mental health. It's a powerful act of self-empowerment where you reclaim your right not to be guilt-tripped into decisions that aren't in your best interest. The fourth signal, a deep dive into persistent disrespect. Respect is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection, functioning as a two-way street. A genuine friend or a loyal partner consistently upholds this with actions that show mutual care and esteem. But when someone constantly exploits you, they tend to ignore these boundaries. Picture this. You frequently find your plans cancelled at the last minute. They show up late, or even worse, they don't show up at all. There's always an expectation that you should adapt to their convenience and unpredictability. This ongoing neglect of your time and needs is a big red flag, signaling that the relationship is not valued by this individual. When you step back and look at these actions as a whole, you see a clear pattern of selfishness and disregard. However, it's important to understand that we're all imperfect. Everyone can be selfish at times. What sets apart someone who is using you is their consistent behavior over time and their lack of recognition or effort to change this. As we continue to explore the complexities of human relationships, it's crucial to remember that self-awareness and confidence are your best defenses against exploitation. Identifying these signs and knowing how to respond is key. Acknowledging that you're in a harmful relationship is the first step toward re-evaluating those connections and taking the necessary steps to protect your emotional and mental health. The fifth signal, surface-level bonding and its consequences. In the intricate web of human connections, another significant red flag appears: surface-level bonding. This one is especially tricky because it can disguise the reality of the relationship. When someone is merely using you, they tend to avoid forming a real connection with you. This behavior reveals itself in interactions that never seem to go beyond a superficial level. In such a relationship, you may start to recognize a recurring theme. Conversations are consistently shallow, focusing on minor, inconsequential matters and steering clear of anything personal or profound. These individuals tightly guard their vulnerabilities and emotions, creating an invisible wall that blocks the relationship from developing any genuine trust or closeness. It feels as though the relationship is stuck in its early stages, even after a significant amount of time has passed. You begin to realize that you don't truly know this person beyond the facade they present. This is a strong indication that, for them, the relationship holds holds little importance and is not seen as a space for authentic emotional sharing. Understanding this dynamic of superficial bonding is crucial for your emotional well-being. It serves as a moment to evaluate the true value and depth of your relationships. This red flag forces us to reflect if we are investing our time and energy in something that can foster mutual growth, or if we are holding on to an illusion of connection that will never evolve into something deeper. The sixth signal: absence during crucial moments. As we continue to navigate the complexities of relationships, the sixth signal emerges with unmistakable clarity: absence when it matters most. The true strength of any relationship isn't revealed during times of ease, but in moments of hardship. It's in those challenging times, whether it's a health crisis, personal tragedy, or overwhelming stress, that the authenticity of a relationship is truly tested. Now picture yourself enduring one of these difficult moments, expecting comfort and support from a partner or friend. Yet, instead of the solace you need, you're met with silence, distant words, or hollow gestures that feel more like obligatory formalities than genuine concern. When someone you rely on is consistently absent during these pivotal times, it's a glaring red flag. This absence speaks volumes, showing a lopsided dynamic where emotional investment is only coming from one side, while the other retreats when true support is needed. Their lack of presence in these critical moments doesn't just reflect physical absence, it's about emotional detachment and indifference. This void chips away at the foundation of the relationship, leaving you to question its depth and authenticity. Ultimately, absence in crucial moments serves as a stark mirror, reflecting the true nature of the connection and forcing you to reassess its value. Coming to terms with this reality can be difficult, but it's crucial for safeguarding your self-worth and emotional health. Facing this truth pushes us to reevaluate the relationship and consider the importance of building more balanced connections where both support and presence are mutual. Identifying troubling signs in a relationship is an important first step, but what truly defines the outcome of these interactions is how we respond. During pivotal moments, especially those demanding support and harmony, someone's absence can unmask a harsh reality about the relationship. It's in these trying times that the depth and authenticity of a bond are truly tested. A lack of emotional investment and solidarity from someone who is using you signals clear deficiencies in the relationship. To foster healthier and more equitable connections, setting clear boundaries becomes essential. Saying no is a cornerstone of any positive relationship. Whenever you feel uncomfortable or tensed, it's vital to assert your boundaries openly and directly. Establishing and maintaining what you deem acceptable is a reflection of self-respect and a means of protecting your emotional well-being. In moments where you feel exploited, transparent and honest communication becomes your greatest ally. Addressing these issues calmly, with clarity and directly, while expressing your emotions without casting blame, can help clear up misunderstandings and give the other person an opportunity to reassess and alter their behavior. Seeking guidance when navigating the emotional difficulties of an unbalanced relationship is also crucial. Confiding in close friends, someone from your family, or even a professional can offer valuable outside perspectives, along with much-needed support and advice. Remember, everyone deserves relationships built on respect and reciprocity. Recognizing and confronting instances where your needs and interests are overlooked is vital for protecting your emotional health. Developing the ability to navigate these challenges strengthens your capacity to foster relationships based on respect, empathy, and clear communication. By identifying the signs of an unbalanced dynamic and taking active steps to address it, you are safeguarding your emotional well-being and laying the foundation for more rewarding interactions. Always keep in mind that your worth is not dictated by how others treat you. Instead, it's affirmed by how you choose to stand up for yourself when faced with disrespect or neglect.